it's Judy Warner. Welcome to day one of our IMS 2023 tailgate party. Today we're pre-gaming with the two co-general chairs of IMS 2023. Today I'm speaking with Gayle Collins and John Wood, who've been working tirelessly for over a year to bring you an amazing conference. We are going to talk about the technical tracks, the social activities, all the diversity that the show brings you with women in microwaves, young professionals, and so much more. I think you're really going to enjoy this deep dive into all that this show offers. And remember, if you're coming to the show, come by and see me at booth 1855, where I'll be podcasting live from the show floor, and we're handing out great prizes from our wonderful sponsors. Now let's jump right into this conversation with Gayle Collins and John Wood, IMS co-chairs. Hi, Gayle. Hi, John. So thanks so much for joining us. I'm so glad you can come on to the podcast today and tell us all about IMS.
Hi, Judy.
Hi, Judy. Thanks for inviting us.
Yes.
So good to see you. Well, your background there is glorious. I haven't forgiven you for moving from San Diego to the North Carolina and the Research Triangle, but it looks like it's really lovely there.
It is. It is. As is Southern California.
It is. It is. Well, we've given you a good excuse to come back with International Microwave Symposium coming up in June. So before listeners, why don't you just talk about what you do for your professional background, and then what led you to become the co-general chairs of IMS 2023?
Okay, do you want to start?
Sure. Well, I design power amplifiers, and I've been designing power amplifiers from megahertz to many, many gigahertz for quite some time, and that led me to start attending IMS and getting inspired by the technical papers there, and then participating on the steering committees, and just kind of became part of our lives, I guess you might say.
How about you, John?
Well, I've been in the sort of electronics and microwave industry for pretty well all my life since graduating. I graduated from Leeds University a long time ago with a PhD in device electronics, and was a professor for a while, and then moved to the States and became involved in research with Hewlett Packard and Agilent. And one of the things that they encouraged was participation in conferences. So that's when I started going to IMS. And when we were living in San Diego, we were thinking about IMS. One of our colleagues put in a bid for getting IMS in San Diego and failed, so we thought we'd have a go, and we were lucky enough to get awarded the chairmanship of IMS, and that was it. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually part of that story. I remember it very well. It was 2015, and I remember what got me there, but you guys were running the publicity committee at the time and invited me to be part of that, which was so much fun. It's such a great community. And then it all got over, and we were all taking a deep breath, and John's like, guess what? We made a bid for San Diego. You want to do it again in 2023? And I'm like, that's so far away. But here we are. How time flies. Yeah. So it's fun to be part of your journey, and now here you are co-chairing the show. So because we do have a good percentage of our audience here on the ecosystem that are RF and systems engineers, I thought this would be a good chance to sort of talk about this community, the value of this conference, and encourage people that may not know about it to attend, and just kind of raise their awareness and hopefully rope them into coming and joining the fun and all the great professional content. So who would you say, as the co-general chairs, who would you say that this conference is for? And I know it has more than one portion to it, so if you jump into those different parts as well, that'd be great.
Well, I'll just kick it off by saying it's the largest microwave symposium in the world in terms of technical exhibition, the student programs, and John will speak a little bit
Yeah.
more about the attendees and who should go.
Okay. It covers everything you might possibly think of in the general field of radio waves. From very low frequencies right through RF, radio for handheld, wireless, and stuff like that, through microwaves, millimeter waves, terahertz, and all the way towards light. It covers all the frequencies. The scope covers everything from fundamental physics and circuit theory through the device technology, making transistors, components, through circuit design, such as PAs, and then the modules and subsystems that put together to form the big systems. And microwaves is a big part of that. And so, as Gayle mentioned, it covers parts of the program for students. So there's a lot of interest for students in the technical side. There's academics, professors, professionals in industry, consultants, anyone working in the RF space, basically. There are about 8,000 to 10,000 attendees on average in total. We're looking for a big attendance this year. San Diego's a bit of a draw.
Yeah, so it's a great place to meet people and network.
Yeah,
Especially this time of year, huh?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Especially this time of year, it's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and the whole week includes the Radio Frequency IC Symposium, which starts off the week, and the Microwave Measurements Conference, ARFTG, on Friday. And there's also a Connected Futures Summit, which is a forward-looking symposium within a conference within a conference, if you like, that's focusing on 6G and connected transportation this year. So that'll be quite an interesting day to spend.
So from my seat in the house, there used to be a clear delineation between, say, high-speed digital and RF, and that is becoming blurrier and blurrier. And because of IoT and wireless being integrated into systems, what I've noticed is that people who weren't traditionally maybe in the RF or microwave space are sort of being drugged into it. Do you think this would be a good place for engineers to sort of up their know-how in regards to designing those type of devices?
Absolutely. And one of the things we've done this year is put out kind of previews of the conference on the IMS website. So it kind of gives people a foundation so that they can attend the conference and attend papers that perhaps may not be specifically in their field of knowledge. So I'm a PA designer, but I know a lot about control theory and filters and you name it, all the way down to digital. So it absolutely is a way to up your game by attending IMS.
Okay, that's good to know, because that's one pain point I see as one with sort of a foot in both worlds. And so I thought that would be really interesting to our audience. So
add to that?
Yeah, I mean, as well as that, there's we've got 3 boot camps this year. There's the RF boot camp that will drag people in, give a ground up, introduction to RF circuits and circuit design. There's the artificial intelligence and machine learning boot camp, which is pretty well described. We've also got a quantum microwaves boot camp, which is a brand new field, how microwaves can affect quantum electronics and vice versa. And that's a really topical thing for us to do. So we've got those. Workshops cover everything from cutting edge to reviews of technology. So pick out a workshop. We've got 30-something workshops this year.
that's amazing. So, because I have been serving on the MP3 committee, or the promotion publicity committee, I've seen this stuff all going on, but so I happen to know that there are themes, and you mentioned some of them for the boot camps. Are there other parallel themes? And then can you just give us, there's so much, it's overwhelming to look at the website because there's so much great technical content. Can you give, again, for our listeners, an overview of some of those tracks and the things that might be of interest to them?
Okay. Well, the overall technical theme is we're pushing systems and applications as we want to get a bigger and broader view of how microwaves can impact the overall system design.
Mm-hmm.
We got the conference runs Tuesday through Thursday. We got a theme day on each day. Tuesday is basically wireless, and whole wireless connectivity, MIMO, a whole range of things like that, and the AI ML theme, artificial intelligence in RF. On Wednesday we got MBSE, model-based systems engineering, and Gayle's going to let you know a bit more about that, and space. And then on Thursday we have biomedical applications of RF. There's a lot of biomedical companies in the San Diego area, so we're hoping for a lot of interest from that perspective. But MBSE is one of the things we've been really pushing this year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's quite interesting. It is a technique of evaluating your design on the system level. So we've heard of physical-based design and trying to get all the different time constants into your simulation so you have all the way up the whole system. But model-based systems engineering goes a step further and puts your design in the environment in which it will have to perform. So, for example, for aerospace, an airplane would be put into an environment where it might have to deal with lightning strikes, or a lab equipment, setting up a lab like an EM lab. Where are the fields going, and how are they interfering with your testing? So model-based system engineering is going to be a theme. We have panel sessions and technical sessions, plus demos that will be down on the system floor. There's a couple companies that will be highlighting their activities in model-based system engineering and design. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah, and we thought we'd put it together with space because one of the leading applications has been for space and aerospace design, so it's quite a good partnership.
Yeah, I could see that between, I mean, there's so much going on in satellite communications, and not to mention the commercialization of space and all that involved. So it should be interesting to see the participation at that level. Speaking of which, the one thing I've always appreciated about IMS is, one, the technical rigor is amazing. Can you touch on, how that came to be, and I think how the show has come to evolve to be such a rich networking environment with so much diversity, yet hold the technical depth that it does, and what you think people might expect to experience when they come maybe as a first timer?
I have to give credit. It has been people like you volunteering over the years that have really formed IMS and contributed to IMS and made it what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned networking. As I said, we're hoping for a big attendance this year because we think it's going to be the return to face-to-face networking in a big way. And, we've all missed out over the past few years. So there's a whole bunch of social events that are really ways of extending your network. And as you mentioned, Women in Microwaves, they have a reception. Young professionals also have a reception. There's the ham radio social, which is going to be really interesting this year. There's possibility of satellite passing and comms with satellites as demos. And all those social receptions are on Tuesday in the Hilton Bayfront Hotel, so you can switch from one to another pretty easily. Hopefully make some new contacts and meet some old ones. We have the sales pavilion. I think Gayle wants to talk about that.
Yes. So, San Diego is just a fantastic place to have a conference. The convention center is wonderful. You have views of the San Diego Bay. You have the Embarcadero where you can walk. And right on the other end, so we have the Hilton the Hilton, which is the conference hotel at one end of the convention center, Then at the other end of the section that we're using, we have the sales pavilion, which is right next to the technical area where the technical sessions will be held. And the sales pavilion is this wonderful room, again, overlooking the bay. It will have two of the receptions in it, the opening night reception and RFIC. But in addition, we've gathered together quite a few events that are normally spread out through the conference. We put them in one area, so you'll be able to go to one area for the interactive forums, for the student design competition. The YP's Lounge is there, and what am I forgetting?
Well, the YPs have done a good job. They've got a nice program of events with panel sessions and talks. They have a nice lounge there somewhere.
And that's kudos again to Young Professionals Program. Again, I go to a lot of conferences in a lot of different segments, but as far as enriching and making really great programs for young professionals, again, just kudos to this community for creating such a great program. You guys really do a great job.
Yeah.
Well, and in this year, we're also having the Rest and Relax Lounge to make sure we hit all portions of our population. So I've nicknamed it the OP's Lounge.
Is that for old people like me?
Old professionals.
Old
yes.
professionals like
Old
us.
professionals lounge. Okay, I got it.
Rest and recharge.
Yes. I was pushing for lazy boys, but we didn't quite go there.
Dang it! What about those massage chairs from the mall, Gayle? Come on.
Yeah, there you go. That's
There
what
you
we
go.
So there's going to be something for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like an amazing conference. I'm going to share all the details. Did you want to go in to some depth about the tracks or the number of papers? Because I know you really are in this post-COVID comeback year. And you want to talk about some of that technical depth?
IMS is back. And I'll let John talk about all the numbers, but IMS is back.
Yay.
We had about 750 papers submitted, which is as good as it was before COVID. So we got 360 accepted papers, sessions across 3 days, multiple parallel tracks, from device technology through circuit design, passive circuits, and a whole range of systems, say wireless systems, wireless power transmission, radar, aerospace and space applications, multiple antenna systems, a whole range of things for people to gain the systems aspects, and we're really pushing that, and it's been very, very well received apparently by the technical community because we've got lots of papers.
But we're back to pre-pandemic numbers and figures. We have a fantastic exhibition.
That's great news. And and so on the exhibition, how are you doing it as far as, I've been many times to IMS, and how are the numbers of exhibitors, how has that come along as well? Do you know that off the top of your head?
Yeah, we got just shy of 550 exhibitors, which is, again, a pre-pandemic number. It's which is 25% more than last year. That's about 90,000 square feet of booth space, 900 booths. So it's a pretty big exhibition. It's back to, as you might remember, before in 2017, 2018, 2019.
And again, for our listeners, that's another reason you want to go, because you go and you see the whole ecosystem of everything, device to systems to materials to filter. I mean, there is so much there that it's a great place for you to go and maybe meet new suppliers, find new technologies. It's a wonderful, wonderful.
And we got
on your walking shoes.
Yeah, the micro apps is the industry people presenting more application-oriented papers. We have a demo, the SATCOMS demo.
There's the MTT Society, Microwave Theory and Technology Society, has been sponsoring student satellite challenge to built some hardware that we're hoping will actually get launched next year. And there were 30 teams originally, and that's been whittled down over the past 3-4 years. And the 3 finalists will appear at IMS in San Diego, and demonstrating the mock-up designs in the systems pavilion on the exhibition floor each day. And
So come ask them hard questions.
ask them hard questions. Yeah, they'll be
Grill the kids.
the finalists will, the winners will be announced this year, so that'll be cool.
Yes.
Well, that's great. Has there been anything that I have not asked you about? Because it's so broad, I'm worried I'm going to miss something.
Well, we could give you a bit of a background on the plenary speakers that we have.
I would love that. Yes, please.
Industrial showcase and industrial keynotes, which are all new,
Oh, yes.
which are new innovations. So
Okay.
the 2 plenary speakers we've got an opening plenary speaker, Ed Gottschalk, fellow of the IEEE. He's worked for many years in millimeter wave technology. He invented the on-wafer probe for millimeter wave measurements to measure millimeter wave ICs, and basically enabled that whole industry. And he'll be giving a really good talk on the impact of transmission lines on everyday life, basically, on the way we communicate. And then we have Sarah Nadarian, who's going to be our closing event speaker. She has been working in STEM and STEAM activities for a number of years with Qualcomm and now with UCSD, and getting young people as young as 8 into building.
Wow. That's amazing. I love that.
And she's very enthusiastic, and I don't know all the details of what she has planned, but I think it's going to be very fun and very interesting.
That sounds great.
Well, a couple of innovations we've had this year. I mean,
Yes.
we mentioned that it's for students, academics, professors, industry professionals. We have been trying to encourage more participation from industry, and there's a couple of ways we're doing those. You want to talk about the keynotes?
Oh, yes. So this year we have industry keynote speakers dispersed between the tracks. So the topics will fit in. Yeah, it's going to be good. So we have quite a selection of people who are active in industry, in research in industry, in getting products out, and they're kind of take and roadmap for where our industry is going. So it kind of gives some guidance to what should the academics be looking at? If where is this going? What are we going to launch into space or launch under the ocean, or there's any number of things that people are out there doing that's quite exciting. So look for the industry keynote speakers. They're staggered so that they are at different times. So if you want to go see them all, you can.
Yeah, and if you look in the program book specifically, which will be online on the app, that you can all the keynotes are marked with a key logo, so you can pick them out pretty quickly. The other thing that we're doing is the showcase, and this will happen on the Monday, right before the opening plenary session, and it's 18 of the best industry papers will come and present their work in essentially a poster type of session.
Interactive forum.
There will be several demos. Several of the authors have said, "Can we bring a demo and show how we do it?" And I said, yeah, of course.
And it's a great way for students, for example, to start meeting people in industry.
You bet.
So we're quite excited about that. Wednesday morning at 6:30, for the first time, we are having a fun run, walk 3K across the Embarcadero. If everything goes as planned, I'm going to be out there doing that and soaking in the sun.
I love that. I'm excited to participate in that one too. If you're going to have a run walk, you might as well do it on the Embarcadero in San Diego overlooking the bay. It's pretty spectacular.
Yeah,
And it's
they'll-
pretty good turnout for that too, right? I think I heard that already something like over 200 people are signed up for that, right?
yeah, and there'll be a few gifts that go along with it, including, I think we have bracelets so that, everybody can go on at their own pace, but you'll be able to spot your co-conference attendees along the
Oh,
Embarcadero.
fun.
And so
Oh,
it's
that's
yet
neat.
another great opportunity to network. So if you really want to impress somebody, you might either want to beat them or let them win. But the social theme, we're having a Latin American theme that is going to be a thread throughout the conference. So the opening night reception theme is a Latin American street party. We will also have panel sessions about microwaves in Latin America and focus sessions. So we're really kind of giving a bit of a spotlight on our colleagues from that part of the world.
Yeah, as Gayle said, it's going to run through the whole week. So there'll be a beach party on Wednesday. The exhibitors reception will be a beach party. So there'll be all that sort of thing going on.
So you want to brush up on your Spanish, cervezas, por favor.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, I know how to say that one. I'm ready. Well, again, it sounds like fun, technically rich, great for first timers, good for old timers. It really sounds and feels like there's really something for everybody. And thank you both for coming on and sort of giving us a snapshot of the smorgasbord that y'all have planned for this year. It is June 11th through 16th. Is that right, guys?
That's right.
11th through 16th. At the San Diego Convention Center. I will put all the links to everything we've talked about in the show notes so you can go register, learn more, and also there's a great app. So you can also download the app. So again, lots of rich resources.
Teasers, the technical teasers on the website.
Yeah.
So you can start participating, and that's open to everyone. So
Yeah.
that'll give people a good idea of what IMS is all about technically as well.
Awesome. Okay, technical teasers. Well, again, thank you, John and Gayle. It's a delight to work with you. I appreciate you both so much. Besides that, you both work really hard and contribute to the industry professionally, privately. You do so much to enrich this community, and you give so much of your time. And I thank you for working so hard over, particularly this last year, but for multiple years of all you've contributed to the show. So thank you so much. So make sure to join us for IMS 2023 for the coolest ideas under the sun. Make sure you go check out the show notes. We hope to see you there. Thanks for joining us to this week. We'll see you next week. Until then, remember to always stay connected to the ecosystem.
Surf's up, yes.